Hello and welcome again to another game dev session of the game Free Return Trajectory. Today I'm going to continue the sound the sound manager for the engine sound. So I will show you what I want to do. It's actually done already. So I have a file for the sound that starts it has some kind of start, then it has a loop zone, and then it has a decay. This is what I have, or this is what I want to have. This section here will be the beginning, this will be the loop, and this will be the end. So start, loop, end. What I want to do when I press forward, for example, I wanted to have the thruster to play a continuous sound of thrusting, you know, and I want the sound to start from here. And once the start is played, because the beginning is different from the loop part, it will randomly play grains from the loop. It's like a granular synths method, but it's not actually that, because I'm not using more than one grain. I'm not changing the pitch or the speed. And when I release the key, it jumps there, or the next grain will be the end, and it will play the end until the end of the file. So we should have the beginning of the sound, the loop zone infinitely until we release the button, and then we have the end of the sound. During this part, it will randomly select portions of this, and it will work like that. I have one portion here, I have another portion, another grain, another grain, another grain. You know, this will loop. And one important thing about this is they will crossfade from one to another. So we don't actually listen to the breaking zone. So this sound goes out here as soon as the same time this goes in. I don't know if you can see in the stream. And this goes in, this goes out, out, in. So this will be player 1 and this will be player 2. And this comes from random places. You know, this can come from this section over here, this can come from that section over there, this can come from whatever section the player chooses. It will select randomly a zone between the end of the start and the start of the end to do these grains. So this is what I wanted. I tried this before with the animator because the crossfade would be much easier to just keyframe the thing, but it was not fast enough. And because it was not fast enough, it didn't sound very good. So this will be page 6 of my notebook. So this is what I'm going to do. I don't have the sound yet, I just have this part. So what I'm going to edit right now is the beginning and the end. I have here some samples to start and to end the sound. I will edit the sound, and then I will put this sound on Godot and I will test it. The script that handles this is already working. So I did it like yesterday and 2 days ago, but because I'm doing that in the afternoon, I actually I don't stream at that time, so I can show you the script, but I didn't show you the actual programming. So let me put my keyboard in the right place. So what I have here is some beginnings and some ends. I like this end over here. This was made by me, so sounds like a voice, at least right now. This will be the end. Some of them are better than the others. Okay. And the beginning will be something like this. I will add this beginning to the sound I already have. I don't like this one. This is end. So probably will be this beginning here. Slice, slice. And it will be this ending. It needs to be faster. I like this one. It's faster than the others. So this will be the end. And now I need to get the original sound, which is in the game. Whoop. So let's go to listen to the sound I have already. Sounds. Spray sound. So it's just a continuous spray, and I want to have that beginning and that end. Let's open this. Show in file manager. Let me put this on the other screen. Spray sound. Let me bring this here. Spray sound is this one. Okay. And now let's try to edit this and make this sound good. Good. As best as I can. Yeah, this is no longer belongs, so this will be the beginning. Very nice. I like it. Let's cut the silence in the beginning. And when I remove the key, I should have something like this. It's a different tone. Yeah, but it could be like this, you know. It's releasing the pressure or something like that. Maybe I will change the tone of this one. Because it gets higher. So I need to down the pitch of this one to match with that. I kind of like this texture, but I don't know. Yeah, could be like that. I actually like it. So this will be the thruster sound. Let's do a selection here. Okay, until the end. And let's render this again on Spray Sound 2, File, Render, browse, browse for file. This needs to be on Godot Games. Free return trajectory, project Godot, sounds. and this will be called spray sound 2. Okay, I will export this in mono, and it could be in 16-bit, doesn't need to be more than that. And I will export not the entire project, but the selected regions, I guess. Time selection, and render one file. Okay. This is actually this window shows the output, so I can actually see how the sound is. It looks nice. Could be louder, but I don't need it louder. Close. And I should have here the spray sound 2. Okay, nice. So now let's implement this on my new granular player. My new granular player, spray sound, let's put it here. I guess I will go again on Reaper because I want to measure these times precisely. So I will pick up this thing, bring it here. So the beginning starts from here and ends at 0.208 seconds. So in Godot, I will say intro duration 0.208. The grain size I will decide later. The outro start point will be around here, the beginning of the crossfade. So this is how the sound ends. Okay, and this is at 2 seconds 304. So let's go on Godot. 204, 3 seconds 204. One of the settings I have is the grain size, how big is the grain, and it can be, I don't know, 1/4 of a second, I don't know, or maybe less. Let's keep it 1.25, yeah, 1/8 of a second. And this is the crossfade between the grains. It goes from 0 to 49, and this is a ratio. So I can show you again the screen, the paper. This is a ratio where if the sound is crossfading, the grain is this size, so the crossfade starts at 49%. Fade in and fade out. So I cannot go above 50. I will avoid 50 because I prefer not to have problems with this fade in is not yet finished, but the fade out already started because the frames numbers doesn't match exactly sample by sample. So I prefer to have a little bit of margin. That's why it goes only to 49. So this is 49% of the duration of the grain. Always. So if the grain has 5 seconds, this will be 49% of 5 seconds. This being said, let's play and see how it sounds, because maybe I need to adjust these numbers. But when I play this scene, I should have the starting sound when I press enter. Oh, I have a problem here. I need to fix something. Okay, something to fix. Nice. So let's go to, these numbers are entered. Yes, maybe the numbers were not entered. Oh, I need to remove this thing. This is for another thing. Ignore this. Let's see if it works properly now, because this game doesn't need this option. I need to fix this problem. This was working. I don't know why it's not working anymore. Intro duration, blah blah blah. Okay. So this script works by managing player 1 and player 2, and crossfades between one and another, looping the grain size inside this window from 0.2 to 3.2. But it's not working. Let's find the bug. And this is very difficult. It will be very difficult to find a bug because similar bugs already happened, and it took me like 1 hour to solve one simple bug here. So I will quickly overview the script. Let's go with the functions. So I get the players, I put the sound in the players, and I calculate the grain duration, which is grain size times crossfade ratio. So I have this number done. In this case, I'm just doing, if I press enter, it will start to play. If I release enter, it will stop play. So this will not exist in the game. Just for testing. The playback always, the grain plays randomly inside the file, so the clock is not always 0, but for me it's easier to calculate from 0. So I have the playtime, the player 1 playtime and player 2 playtime. It always has the player position, but it will have the offset. Oh, maybe this is a problem, because the offset is not calculated before this. Where is the calculation of the offset being done? Maybe where I'm calculating this offset. Maybe that's the problem. Where am I calculating? Oh, I'm not. I'm just calculating player 2, player 1 is here, and play. Okay, so I calculate the offset when I start playing. So I have that number in the beginning. Okay, no problem. This is not a problem apparently. If the player 1 is main and the player 1 is playing, so when I press play for the first time, it will always be player 1. It will see if I already reached the fade out start, so it will play. When I press the key, it will play. It will set this one as true and this one as true, I guess. Let's see. When I play, I do this. Intro true, last grain false, stopping false. P1 grain is actually the beginning, so this grain is not random, it's actually these numbers always. Player 1 start offset, yeah, it's okay, but it's 0 in this case because it starts from the beginning. Player 1 is main true, player 2 is main false. This is used when I want to start the fade out and the fade in. Only the player that is the main is actually the one that is controlling the fades, not both at the same time. Player 1 volume, so this is to start. It will be 100% in the player 1 and 0% on player 2. Fading out false, stop the player 2 in case of something, because I can start play while the player 2 is playing because of last sound, previous sound. So I stop the player 2 and I start playing the player 1 with this grain specifically. at this time. The player wants to know which starting point is, so I will get the grain, and inside the grain I will get the starting point, which is 0. In this case is 0. The grain is done by having so let's show you. The grain is this struct which has the start point, the fade in end, so how much time it takes to fade in the sound, how much time fade out starts, so I can calculate the grain size subtracting these two, and this is the time where the out starts to go out, and the length of the sound of the grain. And I'm doing this way because the beginning is different from grains and the end is different from grains and from the beginning, so these need to be variable and not just an offset from fixed times. Player one, stop playing, start playing. Okay, so I set up the player one to play from the start of the P1 grain, and I already set up the next grain, so the next grain is already calculated, so when I need it is available immediately. Next grain, set next grain, is a function down here which will just random, I can avoid this now, it will just random from, this is a very complicated math around those variables, so it selects the beginning and the end, taking after the fade in and calculating the grain size from the fade out back, so it will never make a grain starting in a point where it doesn't fit. So it calculates that, and next grain, which is a variable, will be a new grain with those numbers, and it's just that, it stays on next grain. So when I play, I believe my problem right now is related with this new thing I put here, intro to end related. This is just actually used when I stop playing, so it shouldn't affect anything else, but sometimes something is not working properly. So last grain is false, stopping is false, intro true. There is something that I'm forgetting. So the thing starts to play. Let's go step by step. P1 is playing. P1 is playing? Yes, it is, because when I say start, it starts playing here. So P1 is playing, yes. And P1 is main, yes. So P1 is playing and P1 is main, so this will be calculated. P1 is fading out. No, it's not, because false. 1 and 2. So this will not happen, and this will happen while the P1 is playing. So P1 is playing and is the main, because P2 could be playing, because when we start to crossfade, both players are playing, but P2 is not the main one yet. So this is, we have the same thing for the P2 down here. Player 1 is main and player 1 is playing, yes. If the player 1 time is greater than the grain that is playing on player 1 dot fade out start, so it will check for the point where it should start to fade out, minus the offset, because this could be in the middle of the file, and is not fading out. So it reached the point, but the fade out didn't start yet. Fade out starts. player 1 fade will have this vector, goes from 0 to 1 to 0, and the player 2 fade will go from 0 to 1. So this goes down, this goes up. If it's not stopping, because this happens when the beginning needs to match the end, like imagine an engine ramping up, keeps a loop and then ramping down. And if I turn on the engine and turn off the engine in the middle of the ramping up, it will find the same location at the end. And that's why I have this option here, which is intro to end related, but in this case it's false. So it's stopping. No, it's not stopping. If it's not stopping, start player 2 grain. And if it's last grain, if this is the last grain, stopping true. So if this is the last grain, it will not start the other player. It only starts the other player if this is not the last grain. This is what this does. Do I have this in the second player? Yes, I have. In intro false. I don't have this here. Maybe this is in intro equals false. Yes, in intro equals false is in player 2, and this will happen always here. And it can happen all the time. All the time that player 2 plays, this could be set to false, because intro only plays in the beginning. But I'm not using this intro anywhere. At least stop playing. Okay, this in intro is to detect if I'm inside the intro when I need to relate the beginning to the end, so this is not important for the loop. In intro equals false, who cares at this point? So we reached the point to fade out. So we set up the fade curves and we start stopping. If it's not stopping, so stopping should be false. Stopping should be false. Exactly. Stopping is false. Last grain false. So this makes sense. It will start the player 1. Sorry, wrong thing. It will start the player 2 grain. Starting the player 2 grain is this function over here, which is it has already that next grain set up, so it will put the next grain inside the P2 grain. It will calculate the offset. It will set the volume to 0 because it will fade in, and start the second player from the start of the P2 grain and set up the next grain. That's it. So now we have both players playing. We have both players playing. So P1 is main, yes. P1 is playing, yes. P1 is whatever higher than whatever, but is not fading out? No, it's not true. This is false because it's fading out. So if it's fading out, next frame, what it's going to do is to calculate the changing in volume for player 1 and player 2. So this one goes down, this one goes up, according to the time and duration of whatever the grain size relation we have to the fade. And it will check if the second player already reached the top volume. So decibels goes from minus infinite to 0 when the player 2 is at 0, meaning that fade-in ends. And when fade-in ends on player 2, player 1 is done. And this does what? This does, it prints this player 1 done. I don't need this. So it stops the player 1, sets the player 1 fading out false, so it's not longer fading out. So what's above, it will not happen. It will not happen for two reasons: because it's not playing and because it's false. And it swaps the main to the player 2. So now player 2 is the main one. So everything starts again, but now inside the player 2. If the player 2 is main, yes, and the player 2 is playing, yes, this is already stopped. Player 2 time, it will get the fade out start of the P2 grain, minus offset, and if it's not fading out, it will. So it reaches the time and it's not fading out, it will begin the fade out, which is making the fade out true. Player 2 fade will be from 1 to 0, player 1 fade will be 0 to 1, so this is swapped. If it's not stopping, it will start the player 1 grain. If it's not the last one, if it's the last grain, it will stop this will not happen, and it will set intro as false only here. Maybe this needs to happen when the player 1 triggers the player 2, not here. Maybe I can change this to the crossfade. So when the player 1 starts the crossfade, I'm no longer in intro. Maybe this will be better. Anyway, and it's fading out the player 2, and it's the same process. So volume of the player 2 goes wherever it needs to go, volume of player 1 the same, and if the player 1 reaches the top, player 2 is done. Player 2 is done, so player 2 stop, player 2 fading out false, player 2 main false, player 1 is main true, and we cycle. Everything starts from the beginning. So we should loop inside these two players. When I release the key, I trigger the stop playing. If it's not related, and if it's related, and if it's intro, it will do this. This is not the point right now. What we are going to do is we'll set up as the last grain. And we set the next grain to be the output. So it's no longer a random grain, is a fixed grain, which is the end of the file. And we just set it up as a true in the last grain, meaning, let's imagine that is player 1 that is playing before the last grain. If it's stopping, it's not stopping yet, so it will start the second player, and it is the last grain, so it will stop equals true, it will block the next playing. The second player will start picking up the next grain to P2, and it will repeat the process, but the next grain is no longer a random grain, is that fixed grain with the end of the file. So I don't know why this is not working. Everything looks okay. Maybe I'm swapping from last grain to previous grain while I'm inside the crossfade. And if that happens, maybe it could not work. But I guess that's not the problem, because the problem right now is I'm not even releasing the key, so it should just play in loop. Wrong play, and I will stop the music. Music mute. You should be looping right now. I release, nothing happened. Something very weird is happening. I tested this before with another sound and it worked perfectly. Intro duration 0. This is seconds. I will try again with this sound. Let me take notes about these numbers because I want to come back to these numbers later. Maybe the crossfade is too big and is not dealing correctly with the frame rate. So let's go like 1.2, 0.2. Maybe this will solve the problem. If this solves the problem, I will just limit the crossfade to a lower number. Because if the grain is too small, maybe the frame rate is too big to calculate those in between. Wrong sound. Let me put again here the spray sound too. Strangely, it ends. I will enable all the prints just to make sure everything is happening. Let's even reduce this crossfade even more. F6. No, it's not correct. So 0.2. Okay, and the end is around 3.2. Oh, 3.2. This is not correct. That's why it's not working. It's jumping outside of the sound. What? How do I 2.304? Oh, come on, it was the opposite. Maybe this was the problem. It was going out of the range. F6. No. Oh yeah, I didn't enter. Come on, I hate this. You should enter automatically every time I change the number. Okay, it's working. But it's not triggering the end. The end grain. So outro start 2.300 and something. Let me put a bigger crossfade to see if this was affecting the thing. Outro start 2.3. Grain size 0.2. Yeah, I believe it's happening what I was talking about previously. If I release the thing, if I release the thing inside the crossfade, the end will not play. Why? Let me explain why. When I stop the sound, which is play grain is above here. When I stop the sound, I set the last grain immediately to true. Meaning that if I'm in the middle of a crossfade, I'm inside this part over here. So player 1 is done, the crossfade ends, and the last frame is already, the next grain is already playing, because it's crossfading from grain 1 to grain 2. And when it starts, the next player is already playing, but when it reaches the point where it needs to, oh no, it should play anyway, because it's not stopping. I just set it up as last grain. I didn't set up as stopping. So it should start the next grain, which is the last one. Start, oh no, because when I do start player 1 grain, I will select another one. Yes. So I need to avoid this. If I only select a random grain if it's not stopping. So if it's not the last grain, if it's not the last grain, I will select the next grain. Because if it's the last grain, it doesn't need to select, it's already set up here. So it's the last grain, yes, it's not stopping yet, and the last grain will be the end of the file. And when we start the next grain, because we are in the middle of the crossfade or we are not yet there, when you start the next player, it will not set up a new grain. Well, technically, it doesn't matter, because next grain is put it inside the player before doing the next grain. I guess this will not solve anything. Let's try. It's not playing the end of the file. It's not playing this part over here. It starts at 2.2 or 2.3, around here, 2.3. The end of the outro. Outro start. (2.2). So let's look at the code again. Everything is working properly. The loop is actually looping. When I release the key, and we are in the middle of the loop, no crossfading yet. So player 1 is playing, player 2 is not playing, and we stop. Let's follow the steps and try to get why is not playing the last part. So stopping playing, stop playing. This is not true. So else last grain equals true, stopping equals false, just make sure, and next grain, maybe this is wrong, will be the outro start, yes, the grain has what? Let me copy the grain here. The grain is, just for me to remember, where's the stop? It's here. So the next grain will be the start, auto start, okay. Next will be the fade in, and it doesn't exist here, so it will be exactly at the end of the file because it's not important in the last thing. So it will be maybe this is the problem. Auto start plus crossfade duration. Okay. Next is the fade out start, will be the length. Oh, -1. Maybe I will just put the length here, because if the outer is smaller than 1, this will, maybe this will stop the sound from playing. Let's see, save, play. Maybe this is the problem. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, I have a sound that loops. I don't like the loop, so let's make it smaller. And let's make this smaller also, 0.1. Nice. And this is actually how I have my thrusters thrusting for the time I need without having a 2-hour sound. It's just 3 seconds. Not very easy. Maybe this is not the most beautiful script. I can remove all the prints at this point. Delete. It was just to make sure that things were happening when I was expecting them to happen. So this is doing nothing here. All these prints doesn't need to exist. I don't remember why this is comment. Anyway, this is not intro false. This is not necessary for this game. This is a feature. This is actually a feature that I want to have in another game. And because my mind was already inside this logic, it was easy for me to do it right now, instead of forgetting about the script and try to solve this problem later in 1 year or something. Okay, oh yeah, this will disappear eventually. This can stay here as a testing tool, but this will not be how we play and stop the playing. We actually do that by making this methods public and trigger them from outside. Okay, everything else looks nice. Save. Granular sound player. So now let's go to Godot. Let's find our spaceship and let's try to do this thing. Granular sound player. This will be the main node. It's in root, actually. This one is to be deleted. Okay. Eventually I can have other variables here, like the main volume and the mixer bus, because I will not have access to these ones. But now I will just set up them manually. The bus will be thrusters, and maybe the volume will be -10. Okay, the granular player, save. Granular player. And let's find the spaceship. Ship 1. Ship 1. And let's change this main engine sound player and this thruster sound player. This was the same thing, but I was crossfading with an animator, and I don't like this because it's not fast enough. I can have grains like alpha second is okay, but grains of 0.05 of a second, it will not happen. So this is not working properly, and this was not accounting the beginning and the end being different parts of sound, blah 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 blah. So this was just a rough way of solving the problem, and I will not use it anymore. The thing is, how did I trigger them? Do I have here an event? No. Yeah, play. So the play and the stop, just play and just stop. So maybe I will change these names. Granular sound play is the name of the script, so maybe I will change this to granular player. No, granular sound player. Okay. Copy, and the play and the stop is called stop playing, start playing. Start play. I don't like it. Let's make it just stop and play. So find, this will be replaced by stop. Let me make sure that I don't change anything else. Just 1 or 2. Okay. And start playing will just be play. Okay, so they have the same name as the other one, so I just need to change the class, and that's it, probably. So engine sound player. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Let's close this one. I want to add here this new granular sound. Granular player. So let's add this here. Let's call it thrusters. Granular sound player thrusters. Let's remove this thruster sound player. Whoop. Okay. And everything is done. Okay. Nice. The spaceship should have a relation. Should have here no, it doesn't have. Well, it actually has, but it is hard-coded. So let's find it. So this will no longer be an engine sound player. This will be a granular sound player, and it will be called the thruster sound player. Will be swapped to I will not change this here. I will change the object. So copy, paste, and this will be called granular player thrusters. I don't remember. Yeah, granular player thrusters. Paste, and this will be granular player main engine. Save. The main engine, I don't have the sound yet, but I will use the old sound. So everything should be the same, because inside them there is a stop and a play method, so this should work normally. I just need to swap this one also. Granular player thruster, copy, delete. Okay, granular player main engine. I believe I use both capital letters. Yeah, main engine, and I just need to change the main engine sound. Main engine loop there to the main engine object, and yeah, I can say like the beginning is 0.8, 0.8 or 0.6. I don't have an end here, but I will fake it. It could be around 1.33, and the rest should fit inside. Save. Let's play the game and see if this sound is actually playing. Good evening, Mr. Nuno. How are you? Play. Let's go with this approach.
Prepare for main engine burn to decelerate as you approach the station.
Oh, sorry, it's too loud. Sorry. It's extremely loud. I will add the variables to the volume I guess I have this here, so buzz, copy, granular sound player goes here, paste, and the buzz, I need to set up the buzz, dot buzz equals buzz, okay, copy, and this is done on the ready function. So player 1 buzz equals buzz, player 2 buzz equals buzz, save. Let's return here, let's build the scripts. It sounded like a V8, yes. The grain is too short for the main engine. It works well on the thruster, but I didn't change the settings, so this is not a V8. V8. It actually sounds like a V1. V1. It was the V1. I don't remember the name. V. Yeah, it was the V1, the first German long-range bomb in the Second World War. It sounded like that because the engine was not a continuous fire. It was like we sound like when firing. This is actually the V1. Anyway, this is not related to the thing we are doing. Our granular thrusters, this goes to the buzz main engine. Yes, main engine. Okay. And the thrusters goes to the buzz thrusters. I will copy paste, just make sure it's not wrong. Okay, so this is lower, of course. The thrusters maybe too. I'm not sure if the sound is too loud or not. Save. The main engine, I will change the grain size to 0. Well, the sound only has 1 second. Less than 1 second, so maybe 0.2. $25. This will not sound good, and crossfade reach a little bit more. Maybe this will sound better, but I don't believe. I need to make this sound again. So let's actually play the game and see how it sounds. Play, continue, level 4, play.
Prepare for main engine burn to
Yeah,
decelerate
it's not sounding good yet. It's too fast. Let's see the thruster should sound different.
Engaging now, ready to maneuver into docking position.
Use thrusters to align with dock 2.
I guess it's not playing the end of the sound. Let me start again with a little bit more sound in the thrusters. and the ship VFX a little bit less. Let's play again. I actually go to the level 5 because...
Roger that.
Oh, this one ends immediately. I forgot something. This was completely stupid. Totally stupid. Station expansion. Level progression. No, level objectives. Oh, right. Whew. Okay, I didn't forget. Okay, I just duplicate the level objectives and I have only one objective here, so this will trigger the end. I want to delete this one. Delete. Because I thought I was forgetting the names of the objectives, so these names over here, which are complicated names to remember. Anyway, play. Let's see if the thrusters sound as I was expecting.
We are docked. Roger that.
I'm not hearing the end of the... I guess I'm not hearing the end. Where is the players? Ship 1 or granular player? Oh, they are at -10. Maybe that's why I'm not listening to them. And the stop function is called... The stop function is just stop, yes. I changed that name, yes. Okay, this is okay. This is okay. Play level 5. Play.
We are docked. Roger that.
Come on. I'm not listening to the thing. Oh, maybe because I have a low pass filter here. And that part is very high pitched. Probably.
We are docked. Roger that.
Oh, now I can hear the end. Okay, it's working. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has a hand. It's not beautiful. I can edit them to make them sound a little bit better. But this was just to test this purpose of having a beginning, an infinite loop inside, and the end that is very recognizable. So this goes to, let's say, 1000 maybe. Let's see if the high pass or the low pass filter at 1000 allows me to listen to the effect.
We are docked. Roger that.
Yeah, I can listen. So now it stays like this. I like the sound. It has a click in the beginning that I don't like. Maybe I'll remove that click. Yeah, this V1 sound it's not good. Maybe, just maybe, I can use the other sound and that will pitch down the sound. Let's say ship. Where is the ship one? It's here. So the main engine, granular main engine. Let's just duplicate this one. Okay, let's copy this name. Let's delete this main engine. Let's paste the name here. So everything is the same as the spray sound. But now on the audio mixer, do I have a pitch? Yeah, pitch shift. So maybe I can just pitch scale. What the hell? This means what? Half is what? Third is lower. Is the speed of the play? I don't understand this setting. Okay, let's go 0.36. I believe it will be 36% of the original pitch. This is not how it should work. Anyway. Maybe I have another problem here, because this is to go the main engine. Because it didn't change the sound. Yeah, it actually did something. Audio, main engine, louder. Oh, the problem of the V1 sound, or the V8 sound, it's not because the grain is too small, it's because I'm playing every frame. It's because I'm giving the order to start playing every frame. So the problem is inside this script over here. Where is the sound? Granular sound, main engine, sound player. Yes. And we play if input is different from 0. That's it. Let's do a simple trick over here. Oh, it will not work. Yes, it will work. If the input is different from 0, if I press the key and the main engine is visible, it's not visible actually, and the main engine is not visible, so it's false. I will play once, I will turn it visible, and it will not play again until I stop. Because it's only when I stop that it goes false again, so this will not happen anymore. But at this point I have another problem, because if this is true and this is true, it will happen. So the is not 0 and is not visible. It will happen, but the next frame this is false. It's not 0, yes, but it's not visible because it's visible. So this will not happen, but this will happen because the else is here. So it will immediately turn off the engine in one frame. So this else cannot be an else. It needs to be an else if. Input main engine equals 0. This is the opposite of this, technically. Paste. If the input engine is equal to 0 and the visibility is true, it goes false and it stops. So this only happens once because of this. This only happens once because of that. F6, play. Okay, nice. Very nice. So now let's put again here the other sound and see what happens. Main engine, we'll use the main engine loop, and let's set up this again. Sorry. This goes, yeah, it doesn't have a beginning. Oh, 0.1, whatever. 0.1, the end will be at 1.30 for the third, 1.3. 1.3 outro start. .3 grain size 1. Yeah, this could be the same. Main engine, let's try. Nice, very nice. Maybe I can change the main engine sound. Let's see if I can change the main engine sound. Join, find. Okay, let's open Reaper. Let's see if I can do a main engine. A better main engine. This will be loud, so maybe let me lower here a little bit the volume. Okay. So this is the sound I have. Let's see if I have here another beginning that I can use there. Maybe this beginning. The end will be difficult. It needs to be long. Maybe this one over here and this one over here. Oh, these are longer, I guess. I like this one because it goes pew, goes down in pitch, so I like this one. Let's also use this one. Okay. I have here the potential outputs for here for this sound. They will be, of course, pitched down. I hate this. Maybe this one. And I will use the loop itself and to extend it a little bit. Okay. Yeah. And for this to sound good, I need to change the pitch of this sound and make sure that this fades out. Probably. Can I change the curve? No. I thought I was able to do it. Okay, let's pitch down this one over here. So effects. Do I have a pitch here? So maybe I don't like this sound at all. Because it's still higher. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, it kind of works, but I don't really like it. I don't like it. It sounds like higher. It's still higher. But I cannot go. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, it could be like that. at least for now. And let's now deal with the beginning, which is, I don't remember which one it was, this one here. Let's crossfade them. Okay, so now we have a beginning and an end. This could be like that. Okay, so this will be our main engine sound with a beginning and an end. So let's export this file, export render, goes to the same folder. This will be called main engine 2. I don't like this sound, but to test the thing will be good enough. Render one file. It could be a little bit louder. Close. Let's go back here. File, export, render, time selection, blah 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 blah. Render, replace. This is too loud now. It's distorting there. So it needs to be a little bit lower. Render. What I'm doing. Control Alt R, render file, overwrite, and close. And I should have now the main engine 2. And I need to check the times here. So let's pick up everything. Let's drag it to the beginning. Whoop. So the intro goes to here, which is 0.21. 0.21. Intro duration 0.21. Grain size could be the same, or it could be a little bit bigger now. Outro start. It's 23:46. Yes, it is. You are right. You know how to read the clock. You go to sleep if I'm not mistaken. And tomorrow, do you homework again? Do you want to go to the Burger King again? The end is around 2.40. 2.40. So the sound of the main engine should sound. I will remove this pitch down. It's no longer needed. You were checking the time. Yeah, I was checking the time of the sound, not the clock. Come on. Okay, let's see if it sounds good. Probably not. Oh no! Stop! This needs to be lower. Oh, much more interesting. Yes, much more interesting. Let's play the game. Let's see how it sounds in the game. Maybe number 5, because we can test everything.
We are docked.
Roger that.
I need to have a sound to unlock from the dock. I don't like this sound. The beginning and the end is not quite there. I don't like that sound. The working from home is not a regular thing. Sorry, you are sorry. Oh, I have here something in front of the. Okay, now it's nice. Ba 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 ba. I will change the sound of the thruster. I don't like the thruster sound, but it's ugly. The thruster sounds like farts, small ones. Yes, they sound like farts. I didn't record farts, by the way. First I will remove this click sound from here. Maybe like this. The beginning is kind of okay. The problem is the end. I will lower the pitch of this part over here. It's too high. That's the problem. So this one goes. Can I lock this? No. Undo. Why it doesn't snap? I want it to snap. Not doing this. Oh, yeah, okay, whatever. And let's crossfade them. And let's pitch down this. Being high is never a problem, most of the times. In this case, it's a problem. I need to compare to the rest of the sound. Or maybe I just go fade out. A long fade out. No. Maybe I can put the pitch down here. This pitch is really bad. Doesn't sound good at all. It's almost bedtime. Yes, it is, but I want to finish this. Maybe I have here a better pitch. Let's see if I have another one. All plugins. Oh, maybe I have another one. If they work properly. No, sounds bad. Well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Could be something like this. No. Okay, let's copy this one. Try to put on this one. Paste. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about these effects. I need to find a better sound. Oh, it's too much. Track 3. Four is too much, 3 is too less. Yeah, maybe like this. Let's listen. Meh. Okay, let's do it. Time selection. Export. This will be the thruster. Spray 3. Render one file. Close. granular thrusters. What? Thruster spray 3. Sperry. It's not spray, it's Sperry. That's the problem. Change name. Spray. I guess this one is working better. I need to check the times now. So beginning. Whoop, whoop. 0.08 is super short, which is nice because it starts immediately, and the end starts at 2.19. Ha ha ha. 2.19. Let's see how it goes. Play, 5, play.
We are docked.
Roger that.
Maybe it's just a little bit too loud. Maybe it's just a little bit too loud. Thrusters -5, 6, around that. A little bit less. Thrusters down, main engine up. Short is nice, low. Short is very nice. Play. Station expansion, model placement. Play.
We are docked.
Roger that.
You need to have particles, because the sound stops now in the fade out. And we should have some remains of fire flying out. Could be interesting.
Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
We are docked.
Roger that.
Yeah, the sound is much better this way. Too fast, it will not dock at this speed.
We are docked.
Okay.
Roger that.
I still don't like the thruster sound. Maybe it's just too loud. But I don't like it yet. Or maybe maybe it's not too loud. Maybe it's the low pass filter that is at 1000 and this is kind of ugly. Let's go 800 and let's go main thrusters. Main engine could be a little bit louder and the thrusters a little bit lower. I guess this will sound better. Play. And I will also change something here. Let me Or maybe the problem is I have the computer too loud, not the sound. Radio is a little bit too loud. Okay, play. You should put low frequency what? LFO? Low frequency what? Low frequency. You should put the low frequency. No? Tell me, please. I don't know what you are meaning. What do you mean by LFO? Low frequency oscillator? Can you type the answer, please? Come on, man. I'm not sure. I don't know the name. LFO is what? What do you mean? Low frequency oscillator? What is the effect does? A loop on the filter? A loop on the filter. I'm not understanding what you are trying to tell me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. A low frequency oscillator should have add some kind of wobbling effect, but it doesn't solve my problem, I guess. Or which problem do you want? Do you think it will solve? Low frequency oscillator, yes. But this will create some kind of wobbling vibration on the sound. It will not. I don't know if it will add something, but we can try. We can. I don't know. I don't know if I have it here. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know why my internet today is really bad. And is lagging a lot. I'm sorry. I guess the problem of my internet is the guy that draws the schematics of the internet maps in Portugal is a really bad guy, and the guy doesn't understand anything about good cables for my house, and that's the problem. I just have a bad internet cable. So, low frequency oscillator. I don't even have that. No, it's not you. I have 2,473 dropped frames today. So it's me. It's not you, it's me. And you are using VPN to what? You are. I guess I'm not allowed in your house. That's why you need to go from another country to my internet. Don't use that crap. I don't have here a low frequency oscillator, so I need to do it. I need to go to a synthesizer to do it, and Reaper is not the best one to do it. Maybe I go live eventually, just to test what the effect could have, but I guess it will not have. It will alter the texture, but it would be interesting, more interesting if it was a real-time thing and not baked in the sound, so I'm not sure. Let's play and listen to the sound. Play number 5.
We are docked.
Roger that.
Yeah, it sounds better. It was the frequencies. It was too high. 1000 is like the mid of the mids frequencies, and we are very sensitive to 1000. So if they are present, they will be annoying. This doesn't sound beautiful, but at least it's not so much annoying as it was before.
Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
Oh, I will not be able to finish this level because it's not aligned anymore. Can I save it? Let's try. Challenge accepted. Lock. Okay.
Roger that.
I guess I will not be able to, or maybe I will. Maybe I can dock the thing. Maybe I will. Oh, perfect. Let's return to the docking number 1. Almost.
Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
We are docked.
Roger that.
Could be my connected to my work. I'm working while listening to your beautiful voice. Okay. You know, it's midnight and 11 minutes. You should not be working. Station expansion model placement. Best time 004. Right. Okay. It sounds good. It sounds good enough. Let's go thrusters a little bit less. Radio a little bit less. No, I'm not. I'm not using sheets. I just played this level so many times that for me it's extremely easy. For me it's extremely boring. But these levels are a little bit super difficult, because when I test this with my students, that never play the game, they cry a little bit to finish the first levels. So I guess this is too much hard. This is too hard for them, for a first time player. But for me, it's easy. It's just memory already. I'm speedrunning the levels. I'm not playing the game. I like this. Let's try to add some. Let's see. I never did particles here, I guess. Or I did. I believe I tried particles for something, but I never did them actually. So let's see if I can have this engine to spit a little bit of particles. Let's see, how can I do particles in Godot? Does this has particles? I guess it has. Oh, wrong software. Shift space is to add nodes in Fusion. Here is Control A. Particles. Oh, it has particles. GPU particles, which means a lot of particles. How can I test it? Just playing. Let's put the particles in the center of the camera. I need to save this. Particles test. This goes to the elements, parts. Nothing happens. Okay. Emitting on, sub-emitter. Oh, let's see. Particles. This needs what? Node configuration warning. A material to process the particles is not assigned, so no behavior is imprinted. Okay. We need a material. Process material. New particle process material, I believe. And here is where I do the thing. Let's see what I can do. Particles and special effects. Let's see what you can do. Well, you need to work. You cannot see what I'm doing. You can only listen to my voice. You know, don't look. Oh, these particles are amazing. The best particles ever. See, I did it. Okay. Particle flags, align, spawn, position. Don't understand anything of this. Animation velocity. Do I need a texture? Probably. It's not instantiating anything. So let's do some, I don't know, canvas texture maybe. No. Maybe I can use a sprite. It's an atlas texture. And now I will get my sprite, which is somewhere here. Maybe this one. Let's try to find a particle here. Resources, region, edit region. Let's find something that could be a particle. Well, this could be particles. Close. Okay, I have particles. I have something happening. Nice. So let's understand this particle system. If I rotate the particle system, it doesn't rotate to the emission point, emission direction. So it's not like that. Now let's start to mess up with randomness, lifetime randomness. Okay, I don't really like this setting because it's not random, or is 100% random, maybe. But random from which number to which number? Particles flag, align Y. Aligns y-axis to particles with the direction of its velocity. Okay. Disable Z because we are in 2D. We don't need the Z-axis. Okay. Emission shape offset. So this will set up where they start from the starting point. Okay. Shape scale, who cares? I don't like to change scales. Emission shape, sphere. Okay, it could be a sphere inside the main engine, so they don't come from one single point. Sphere surface. It would be nice to draw the sphere surface. Oh yeah, it's a sphere. Box, points, direction, emission point texture, ring. Maybe I go with sphere. Okay. Angle, minimum angle. Angle of what? Emission or the rotation of the sprite? I guess it's the rotation. Maximum angle will be 25. Yeah, this is the rotation of the asset, not the direction. But yeah, this is nice. So minus 90 to 90. I could start randomly rotated. Velocity. So this is the direction, or maybe not. Inherent velocity ratio, maybe this comes from, so if it's 1, it will be 100% of the velocity of the ship, which is kind of okay, maybe. I'm not sure. Percentage of the velocity of the respective GPU particle is inherited by each particle when spawning. It was not what I was saying. Spread 45. Each particle initially direction range from plus spread to minus spread degrees. Okay. Animated velocity. Direction, orbit velocity. Okay. Acceleration, gravity, no gravity. 0. So they spawn and they stay there because there's no gravity. Oh, if I could add the polar gravity to each particle, it would be very interesting. But at the same time, if I spawn 2000 particles, the polar gravity will cry and my computer will explode. So maybe I will not do that. Linear acceleration, radial acceleration. Oh, radial acceleration for sure. They go away from the center. And linear. It's weird. They need to live longer. They disappear too quickly. So where is the amount ratio? Amount 8. Let's put more. 32 particles. No. Okay. And they need to live longer. Where is attractor interaction? If through interaction with particles attractors is enabled in 3D, attractor only occurs within the area defined by I guess I don't need that. Damping, a little bit of damping, so they deaccelerate after starting to move. Maybe a little bit. Display scale. What the hell is smoking out of the point? It's the particles. It's just a little bit of nothing yet. Scale minimum 1. Oh, I can change the scale. So, for example, from 0.2, which are 0.1, to 2. Some of them will be smaller. Maybe this is too big. 0.8, and another one will be bigger. So this is nice. Very nice. Scale over velocity. So they should disappear. I don't want scale over. Color curves, color ramp, initial color, so I can change the color during time so they get darker. Okay, animation. Interesting. Turbulence, enable. And my computer crashed, no? No. This adds noise to the parameters, maybe. So they don't no longer go in the straight line. I don't know. Maybe not. And is extremely heavy. They get slower. Collisions. Interesting, but no. Subimeter, no. Resources, no. How long does a particle live? Where is that setting? Time, maybe time. Oh, why this is not inside the material? Lifetime, like 3 seconds. Okay. I should have this when the spaceship breaks apart also, of course. Particles everywhere. You gotta go. Go then. Thank you for watching. See you sometime. One shot. Yeah, one shot it plays and stops. This is good for the explosion. How can I restart the thing now? Emitting. Bam. Speed scale. Explosiveness. Yeah, I guess I can have this kind of explosiveness in the engine. When I stop the engine, it bursts a little bit of, I don't know, something. Trails, enable trails. Oh, interesting. I don't actually like it, but lifetime. Crazy lifetime. Yeah. So now what I want is to make them go down. They need to go down. Lifetime 3 seconds. Okay, speed. Where is the speed? Speed scale 0.1. Nice, too small. Anyway, this will not be the speed. So maybe they go down. Align Y. Rotate Y. Let's see, instead of emission sphere, emission point. Direction 1. They're not moving. So these particles are going in all directions because of something I set up here somewhere. Don't remember where. No gravity, linear acceleration, 0, 0. So they just come out at a fixed speed. Radial. No radial. Okay. So now let's see if I can have the direction. No. No direction. Emission shape offset 0, emission shape scale 1. Direction and velocity. Yeah. The minimum will be 1, maximum can be like 20. 20 is too slow. 100. Okay. Why now is the direction to the right? Because of this? No. orbital velocity is not. Oh, yeah, it could be interesting to have this kind of effect. Yeah, but I don't like it. Is orbital around? No. No orbital. Radial velocity, no. Limit, no. Accelerations, gravity, no. Linear acceleration. Where do I point down? I cannot rotate the particle. Maybe I can rotate the node. No. No. It's a very interesting thing. One shot, no. Pre-process, no. Speed scale, whatever. Explosiveness, no. Randomness, I guess no. Collision, no. Drawing, no. Trails, no. The problem is, how do I point the particles into a specific direction? Amount 32, amount ratio 1. Sub emitter, no. Lifetime randomness, yeah, we could have a little bit of randomness, so some of them live longer. Spawn position, emission shape offset is the position. Emission shape scale. Emission scale, emission shape point. Sphere. Directed points, maybe. No. Box. Angle. This is a rotation, I guess. 0, 0. Velocity, velocity pivot direction. This doesn't change anything. Unit vector specifying the particle's emission direction. Yeah, but this is not doing anything. 1 should be down, -1 should be up. 0. Initial velocity, animated velocity. I'm not finding the direction, or maybe I have some setting disabled that is not applying this direction over here. I'm not sure. So I guess I need to see some tutorials about this particle system, or at least waste some hours testing stuff here. And I will not be here streaming me looking at the computer. Let's Google it. Godot particle GPU direction. Initial velocity is an attribute of particle materials, not particles today. While you probably could make it work by setting self-rotation degrees. Yeah. I need to have a script to control it. I'm not sure. Direction. This is the best direction in which particles emit. Where you know default gravity setting, particles will go straight down. Okay. For this property to be noticeable, you need to initial value greater than 0. Yeah, this is actually what I want. But not because of gravity. I want this because it's pointing down, so spread. This parameter is the angle in degrees, which will be randomly added in either direction of the base direction. A spread of 180 will emit in all directions. A plus and minus 180, for example, with to do anything with initial velocity parameter must be greater than 0. Okay. This doesn't solve my problem, because what I want is like, let's rotate this object and it emits in whatever direction it is. And if I'm not mistaken, from what I read, I need to do it by code. So I need to change this direction. Where is the spread? Angle this filter does not work. Yeah, it works. It's not a filter. It's a filter, not a. I was trying to have a find window, not a filter. Anyway. Sphere, emission shape, radius. Okay, something big. Okay, angle minimum minus 15 and 15. Velocity. Oh, spread is here, 45. Let's go. Yeah, but this is going to the right. It's not spreading. Why? Why? Because it was doing that. Rotate Y. Align with Y. No. Rotate Y. No. I don't know. So yeah, I need to test every setting combination until I understand them all. So this will take some time, some hours. I need to understand them all. Radial velocity. But why is the thing now going to the right? 50-50. Where did I have the right direction? I don't remember. This is very confusing. Emission shape is a shape. Emission angle, emission direction 000. I don't understand why they go to the right. I really don't understand. Gravity. They will fall. Okay, acceleration is all zeros. I'm actually not finding the setting. I don't understand. Well, that's not a problem for today. I'm tired, so I guess I will stay here today. I will just play 1 or 2 levels so I can appreciate the sound again. In full screen. Close, play. Yeah, the thruster sound was a volume problem. It was too loud. Wow, first try. I'm getting better on this. Going to the higher orbit. Rogue planet orbit insertion. Let's go. Wrong level. Yeah. I will crash. Okay. This will be easier. Let's deaccelerate. Wrong place. No. I need to deaccelerate at a higher orbit. So here. No! I will fall. I need to accelerate here a little bit. And deaccelerate here. I will not complete the level. I will not go around the planet 10 times before the end of the screen. Too late. Let's restart. Okay, I'm a little bit stable on the correct place. Yes, now it was easy. And the sound is working fine. I guess I like this thruster sounds in the main engine. Ten orbits.
Rotate towards target using the thrusters and stabilize orientation.
Target alignment stable. Holding now.
Prepare for brief main engine burst.
Engaging main engine.
Rotate backwards towards the target. Fire the main engine to stop.
Deceleration complete.
Prepare for main engine burn to decelerate as you approach the station.
Ready to start rotation? Engaging now, ready to maneuver into docking position. Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
We are docked.
Roger that.
No, I don't know why this is happening. If I press enter, it goes to the last level, not the one that is selected. But if I select with the keys, can I select with the keys? No. Oh, this was working before. I have a bug here somewhere. Station expansion.
We are docked.
Roger that.
So, I guess the sound, the granular player is actually working fine. I can have a continuous thruster sound. Keeping the beginning and the end of the sound, they are different from the center. Same thing for the main engine sound is also. It has also a very specific beginning and a very specific end.
Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
What I'm missing right now is some kind of particles, leaving out the thrusters and the main engine to keep it more interesting, visually interesting.
We are docked.
Roger that.
So maybe I will do this next stream. I will study the particle system offline, and when I know how to use it,
We are docked.
Roger that.
I will stream the configuration of that.
Auto lock activated.
Roger that.
And that's it. Until there, I hope you like this video. Subscribe and like the video, and see you in the future.